Hope Channel, changing lives.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. And I am so excited to be on your screens again as usual. My name is Evie, the usual host for the show. We are on your favorite Christian and preferred TV channel, Hope TV. You can also join the conversation live by streaming on YouTube, Hope TV Ghana, and Facebook, Hope TV Ghana. If you want to be part of the conversation, I would implore you to leave your comments under our comment section, whether you agree with the story, disagree with the story, any advice or solution you may have for the individual that sent his story into us today. As usual, I have amazing panelists with me, joining me in the studio and joining me virtually as well. Before I introduce them to you, I hope your week has been good. It's Wednesday, midweek. I'm sure you're getting ready for the weekend. It was a long weekend, so the week will be a short one. And I am excited to be able to be on your screens. Last week, we couldn't come because obviously we had our program that was running. And I don't know if you tuned in, but I did, and it was a blessing. And this week, we are here with yet another exciting, educative, and entertaining story. You know, this is a story that a similar story has been on our show before. I say a similar story because it has the dynamic of something that we've done before. Going through your phone's your partner's phone, going through your partner's phone is something that we've discussed before. People see it as an issue of breaching the privacy. People think you should be transparent with your partner. And we've also had to discuss a story about being friends with the opposite sex when you're married. And today's story has these two dynamics come into play. And so you know it's going to be interesting. I don't know, I think these are topics we'll keep talking about over and over again, because as human as we are, we'll have people agreeing, people disagreeing, people wondering if it's right, is inappropriate. And today we are going to go into the story and we are going to make sure we come up with some solutions to help these couple in question. Hopefully, at the end of the discussion, our main objective is to come up with solutions, is to come up with tips, and hopefully to get the couple to on the right path, if I should say. We are not looking for separation here. We are obviously not going to encourage divorce, but we are going to try our best as we can to find solutions to the people that bring the stories to Real Talk. On that note, I'd like to also encourage you to send us your story through our WhatsApp number or email address, Hope TV Ghana. You can even send it to us on Facebook. Just DM us and send it to us. Even Instagram is an option. And you don't need to have a fully written story. It could be a topic, something you're going through. You could share it with us. We will write the story to suit exactly the situation that you're going through. We will find you the right people to have the conversation. And at the end of the day, we will hope that we are able to give you some solution to the situation to help the situation that you are going through. Today's topic, it says, I went through her phone, now she wants a divorce. So you can see that there's a lot at stake here. I'm going to go through the story, but before I do that, I would like to introduce my panelists to you. In the studio with me is Shadrach Bote Ahia. Did I get it right?
Yeah, Bote.
Bote Ahia. I never get these names right, so sorry. He's from Sasabi Adventist Church.
Yes.
Please welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor to have you. I hope your week has been good.
It has been good, yes.
And the Salah, or is it
Actually,
Eid Mubarak? Or?
I have friends who are Muslims and some invited me, but I couldn't make it, but I called them to wish them.
So the goat and the cow, you didn't choose out?
I learned this on the way coming.
It's on the way?
I'll be expecting it, yes, from Kumasi, so I'll be expecting it.
Hey, this is what they'll call a dead goat. I'm hoping that's when you get it, you invite us to come and enjoy with you. Sure. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All the way from Techiman, I have Eunice Akonobia. She is joining us from the Valley View Church, Valley View University Church. Eunice, if you can hear me, good evening, and how are you doing? I can't hear Eunice. I don't know if it is from my end or you are muted.
Good evening.
I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, and you?
I'm blessed as well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're ready for the discussion.
Ever ready.
That's cool. I don't know if Pastor Nick is with us.
Yes.
Pastor Nick joined us last week. Pastor Nick, if you're with us, he's joining us all the way from Oklahoma, the state. Pastor Nick, good evening at my end. How is your day going?
Good evening, my dear sister. It is going well. I'm so glad that we can connect like this again. I'm loving our panel discussions. I love the input from the people that are sending messages. This is truly an awesome opportunity for me to be a part of, so thank you for having me again.
It's such an honor to have you again. Pastor Nick is the senior pastor of the Adventist Fellowship Church, and he was with us last 2 weeks, and today he's joining us again to share his knowledge and to help us come up with great solutions and tips for the gentleman that sent in a story. I'm going to go straight ahead and read our story for us so we can start our conversation. It says, "Dear Real Talk, few months after my marriage to my wife, I realized something I did not like about her. She was entertaining a guy who keeps on harassing her on WhatsApp and phone calls. This guy started this even before marriage. I thought my wife would discard this friend after marriage, but unfortunately she did not. One day I went through my wife's phone, and to my surprise, she was still in contact with this guy. Series of video calls and messages. This guy was even asking for her nude pictures. I am sure my wife did not do that though. But why is she keeping such a person in her life as a friend, as a married woman? I called her and addressed what I saw on her phone. She acknowledged it was wrong and agreed not to engage this man anymore. Things were good after that, until another time I took her phone trying to check if she had stopped entertaining him. This time around, I saw her other male friends sending inappropriate messages to her as well, and she entertains them. I don't know if it's the excitement of the chase or if she just likes the attention. This same guy she said she wouldn't text anymore sent her this text. If your husband knew how some of us want to snatch you, he would not make you unhappy. I never knew my wife was unhappy. I don't know what she told him that led to that text. In my frustration, I took the guy's number and sent him a text asking him to stay away from my wife if he wasn't going to be a good friend. I think the guy told her this, and since then my wife has refused to talk to me. She asked me what's wrong if someone tells another they love them as friends, and that was she not friends with him already before she agreed to marry me? Evie, I honestly do not think my wife is cheating, but these chats are inappropriate for a married woman. What even pushed me to write is that she's asking for a divorce. I have apologized and cried that she forgives me if I went too far with texting the guy. She refuses to listen. Our parents, counselor, and some elderly people have all tried to resolve this issue, but she still refuses. She's even ready for her mother to disown her because of this. She keeps saying she wants to be alone and live her own life as she wants it. What do I do? Because I am ready to correct any mistake I did in my attempt to handle this issue. Oh my goodness, just 4 months. This should be the honeymoon phase. I mean, a few months into marriage, this should be the honeymoon phase. This should be when you guys are enjoying the marriage. You guys are finding out how your living arrangements are going to be, your sleeping routine. I mean, your little quirks here and there. These are the times you guys should be getting to know each other on an intimate level. And she's asking for a divorce because you sent her friend a text to stay away from her because the messages were inappropriate. I wonder what is going on with the woman, and I wonder if there's more to the story. But we can only go by what we have on our screens today and also what he sent in to us. So I'll just go straight ahead and I'll ask you, Shadrach.
Yeah.
What came to mind when you heard the story, or I just read it right now?
Actually, when I heard the story, I saw it to be a bit dicey. Because when it comes to marriage, you see, it's a union between a man and a woman. And in God's word, he tells us that once you are married, you become one. And whatever your partner is doing, you should be able to know. And whatever your partner is going through, you should be able to know and feel it as such. So when the story came, I was wondering, was she not telling the partner what was going on in her life? Because for her to confide in other friends, that is the opposite sex, and tell them about her stuff, I think there is something wrong somewhere. It's either the partner wasn't giving her the attention that she requires from him. Yes, that was why she took that step to entertain the opposite sex.
But as a married woman,
it's not wrong to have friend of the opposite sex.
I was just going to ask you that question, but go ahead and answer it.
Yes, it's not wrong to have a friend of the opposite sex, and it is. Should I say, it is not wrong to have them, but it is unhealthy when you are married. You should know the limits you have with the opposite sex. That is what I would say about
That's
it.
what you say.
Yes.
Okay. Eunice, Shadrach is saying you should create boundaries with the opposite sex as a married woman. What is your general take on this story? And should married people entertain or keep friends of the opposite sex? Do you think it's advisable? You're muted again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, to begin, I would like to say that, or ask the question, how well did the man know the wife before they got married? Yeah. Did he know the lady very well? Or was the lady hiding something from him that he couldn't see before they got married? That is the first question I would like to ask. And obviously, the lady has different tastes in other men that the husband cannot give or the husband doesn't have. And it could be a cause for what is happening in the marriage. Then, when you go through the story, the husband said something like, the one sending the messages asked for the nude pictures of it, and he is doubting whether the wife sent it. I want to say the man is being a little naive here or not facing the reality.
Okay.
Because in our days now, we have the cyber infidelity, apart from the physical infidelity, which you will see that someone is cheating on you. We have the cyber infidelity and we have the emotional infidelity. That is when emotionally I'm married to my husband. There are things I'm supposed to share with my husband emotionally. But if I don't do that and I'm seeking that attention or I'm sharing with somebody outside my marriage, it becomes emotional infidelity. Or the cyber infidelity. Social media has made it easy for people to share so many things sexually and through these social media handles that we have. So if this thing is going on, or if the wife is doing things like this through social media, of which the husband thinks she has not sent the nude pictures, I think the husband is not facing the reality here.
Okay.
That's my take.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Eunice. Coming to you, Pastor Nick, what's your general take on the story? You know, hearing the story, what came to mind? And also, as married couples, do you think it's advisable to keep friends of the opposite sex? I can't hear Pastor Nick. If it's from my end.
I think I was muted.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look, what I was saying is there are a lot of things that are, that are really troubling about this story. The first that came to mind, did you know, I'm not sure what it's like in Ghana, you need to help me out, but here in the United States and in many Western countries, we're finding that something like 50% of marriages end up in divorce within the first 5 years even. Now that is alarming because the whole the whole preparation, that whole journey of finding the right person and meeting the kind of person to share your life with and all that, I mean, that takes so much time, and it is truly a wonderful journey. And you pray about these things, and then all of a sudden, for it to come to the point where they can opt out, is a really sad thing. I'm not sure if you guys are hearing me.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
But, okay, great. And so yes, it's really troubling, my sister, because the thing is, it's like it's worse than COVID. I mean, there are relationships that have been destroyed, and people are experiencing all sorts of betrayal and loneliness, even within the marriage. And this is terrible. It's ruining our society. And so as I'm hearing the story, to me, it's like, this is real. This is a common thing. And it's so sad. Now, the other question that you asked me was, can you have a friendship with the opposite sex? I mean, of course, you can't deny that it's going to happen. I mean, some of us work in a space where we are hanging out with people of the opposite sex every single day, and to not become a friend and not to befriend that person is quite socially awkward, right? So I think it's normal to have friends of the opposite sex. It's something you can't avoid. As a pastor, we are friends with our members, and not just of a male or a female church, right? Mm-hmm. It's something you can't avoid. But obviously there is an issue, no doubt. I mean, the fact that they're exchanging photos of them in inappropriate photos, the very fact that her response, to her husband's reaction is divorce, is telling you that a lot of things have gone wrong along the way here, and instead of just like criticizing, hey, here's what you should do or shouldn't do, we need to go back a few steps. My first question, and I'll hand it back to you. My first question to this person writing the letter is, do you still love? Is there still love in this relationship? Do you feel like there is still love, and it's not just a reactive thing that she's, if there's a chance of even 1% chance of there being love there, is that worth fighting for? And that's where I would start with the family. But yeah, wow, what a tragedy, but it's such a common thing.
Before I come to Shadrach, I would like to ask you, Pastor Nick, was this young man wrong for taking his wife's phone, going through her phone, and for texting the other guy? First of all, was he wrong? Was it an invasion of her privacy? Should he have not, or perhaps asked for permission before? And then after he saw the messages, was it wrong or inappropriate of him to take his phone and text this young man and say, you know what, stay away from my wife, you're not being a good friend, the things you ask of her are inappropriate as a married woman? Was he in the wrong for doing that as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. And, it's a hard one to answer, because every couple sort of behave differently toward each other, and they handle situations differently. If you were to ask me, in my situation with my wife, we are very transparent. We don't have secrets. And that's not because there is doubt that we might be doing something wrong, but we actually enjoy having each other enter and being aware of each other's lives. That we don't, there is nothing to hide. And so to ask the question whether it's wrong that he took a phone and looked at, I mean, if they had established this kind of arrangement or agreement within the marriage, that there is nothing secret between us. I'm not holding anything from you, don't hold anything from me. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine, and we share everything openly because there's that level of trust, then it cannot be wrong. But if you enter into a relationship where you've put those boundaries in place, look, listen, I love you, and we respect each other, but I want you to also respect my privacy. I do have a private life, and that I don't want you to really interfere with. Now that's their personal thing, that's their business. But if that's the arrangement that you guys made at the beginning of your marriage, then you've got to respect that. But if it's not, and 90% of marriages, I'd like to assume, where it's based and built on trust, where, hey, you can, I'm an open book all the time and every time, then I don't see, the very fact that there's doubt, my sister, this is the problem that we need to work on. The very fact that there is doubt, the very fact that he felt he needed to check on his wife's messages. This is the issue. what led him to want to do that.
Absolutely.
And anyway, yeah, let's keep it.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Nick. Shadrach, coming to you.
Yeah.
You know, like he said, every couple and their plan or strategy with regards to their phones.
Yes.
Some people are very transparent. You can pick my phone, I can pick your phone.
Yeah.
You know my password, I know your password. I can even answer your phone call for you if you're not around. Others too are very protective of their phones. You know, there are people that when you're going near their phones, you know, you see literally, yes, they start acting as if they don't come near the phone. But first of all, I'd ask, what is your opinion or suggestion for couples that are married and their phones? And also with regards to this story, do you think the young man was wrong for going through the phone? And also for picking his phone and texting the guy and saying, stay away from my wife?
Wow. The thing is, before they got married, I think they should know the boundaries, whether they will be open to each other and be able to access each other's phones. They should have an agreement on that. And for the husband to take the phone and go through, that means there should be something going on. He can't just stand up and take the phone and start going through.
Right.
He might have seen certain things changing with their wife. I think that prompted him. But if they had not come to an agreement to be able to go through each other's phones, I think it's inappropriate for him to invade her privacy.
In that way, yeah.
Yes, in that way. That's what I would say. Yes, it's inappropriate. If they have not agreed to do that, yes.
And what about he texting the other guy?
That is a no-no. That is a no-no, yes. You shouldn't have texted a guy. Ask your wife, your partner, what is going on. Maybe there are things you are doing that is driving her from you. She's seeking attention elsewhere because you are not giving her that kind of attention that she requires. So if you sit her down and you talk your things out and you're able to know why she does that, I think it will help. Yes, but going through her phone and texting is a no-no. Yeah, it's a no-no.
You think he shouldn't have?
He shouldn't have, yes.
Okay, okay. Shadrach thinks he shouldn't have. Eunice, what is your thoughts on that? Marriage, phone, privacy, transparency, going through, and the husband going ahead to text the guy. I'm sure he was thinking, if my wife is not going to do it, I might as well go ahead and tell him that, you know what, stay away from my wife. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I, in my opinion, I think he was not wrong, not necessarily wrong. There are some couples who have agreed that each one can pick the phone, go through the phone, like our brother earlier said. No, like Pastor said earlier. But the story made us understand that the wife was not even angry in the first place when the man went through his phone. But what I saw to be wrong was when he went ahead to text the other guy a message. For instance, let me use Pastor Nick as an example, or our pastors. They have so many friends, and if you as a pastor's wife, or if you as a wife, or the man, you are going to test each and everyone who is a friend with your husband or wife. It is going to be an issue for you. I think that personally, the man should have dealt with the wife at home to trash out issues. Why haven't you stopped testing, or why are you still entertaining this man who is sending you inappropriate messages, or you are having an inappropriate conversation with you? I think that is what the husband should have done. But going to the stand of sending the guy a message, according to the story, there were other guys too who were sending those messages. So is he going to do the same to all those who were sending the messages to the wife? Or it was only this guy he was attacking? Should this guy stop sending the messages? What of the others? So I think he went extreme in sending a message to the guy who was pestering the wife. That's my thing.
I think he went to this guy in particular because he's the one that was a constant. The first time he checked, it was him, and then this time around it is him. And the point of he speaking to his wife about it, he said in the story he had the discussion before. She acknowledged it was wrong and said, I will stop. So a few months down the line, he decided to check again, and apparently she hadn't stopped. So in his opinion, he felt the wife was not handling the situation, so he wanted to go ahead and handle the situation. But that on the side, being a woman, I would ask you, Why do you think this wife keeps entertaining these men? What is it? What is she looking for? Is it the excitement of the chase? Is it the attention she's getting from them? Do you think she regrets getting married and now she wants to be with someone else? Do you think these men are doing something that the husband isn't doing? What could be the reason for entertaining these men as a married woman? Because the truth of the matter is, when you're married, regards to issues with likeness and love and courtship and proposal, you can't play those games anymore. You are out of the league now. But she keeps entertaining these men. She keeps, you know, almost like leading them on, and they keep coming to her with such messages. Why do you think she keeps doing this?
My dear, there could be so many reasons why the lady keeps entertaining these other men. There could be, one of the reasons could be that the lady doesn't feel desired by the man he's living with. At times, the men and their ego, they become so egoistic that the lady cannot approach him, even if the lady wants to have a chat, fun with him or something like that. It could be a reason. The lady felt that she wasn't desired by the man he is staying with. Perhaps another reason could be that the lady had a different sexual orientation from where she's coming from. Before she got married, she has been exposed to so many sexual orientations which the man never had. And now she thinks that those men whom she is having contact with now, they make her feel better with those things she desires, which his husband cannot provide for her currently. And I also think that genuinely this lady never loved the man, but she felt that there were some benefits she could get from the man, and the man was a safer choice for her during the time of marriage. So there were some benefits she could derive from the man because she sees the man to be a very good man. And now that she has got married and she feels that those benefits are no longer needed, she has to do something that will make her leave the marriage. That is my thought though. And maybe there is no deep-seated communication between the two of them, because the lady or the man should sit down and both should express what they like and what they don't like, especially when it comes to sexual orientation. Most of our counselors dwell so much on other components of marriage. Before getting into marriage, they will talk about your finances, childbearing, and other stuff. But this thing is eating into our Christian marriages. As I earlier stated, this cyber infidelity is eating into our marriages. And these are the things they should sit down and discuss. Because what if the husband likes A and the wife likes B, and the husband is unable to provide the B for the wife? Definitely, the wife would go outside to seek for that B, which is not the best.
I see. So probably the husband is not doing something. Yes. I see. Shadrach, do you have the same views? Why do you think this woman is doing what she's doing?
I think maybe she expects some kind of affection from the husband, which she's not getting, and entertaining those other men. Maybe she's getting that kind of attention from them. But it is not healthy in her marriage. She should understand that and even open up to the husband and explain things to him. Whatever she expects him to do, I think she has to voice it out. Maybe the husband might also be drifting apart. So when she talks about it, he'll be able to come back to track, and I think
you think it will solve the problem?
It can.
Okay.
Yes, in a way, it can solve the problem.
I am thinking she probably didn't love her husband from the beginning. But I'll come to you, Pastor Nick, before I share my opinion. Why do you think this young married woman keeps entertaining other men that she can't even have as husbands or even boyfriends? Why do you think she entertains them, even to the detriment of her marriage?
You know, hey, one thing we need to remember is that we all have a lot of things in common with each other, right? So the question is, why do we sometimes opt out of our commitments, of our relationships, and why do we lose trust and faith? That's the question. I think we can all, speak into that space, we can all sort of come up with reasons for some of these questions that we're asking. A very common problem that we find in marriages that leads people to sort of that kind of way, unfortunately, sometimes has a lot to do with abusive relationships. And I'm not sure it's something that we've really covered yet, but it's something to think about. Sometimes the husband or the wife might feel that there is really no escape, that they're trapped in a really difficult, in a really bad situation, and there's no way out. There's no way out because financially they cannot live alone, right? They can't divorce, because if they divorce, then they'd go out and be stuck financially. Another situation might be that the husband or the wife maybe even is so dangerous and aggressive and abusive that even trying to pull apart might come at a serious cost. But what is real is that there's a reason why we disconnect from each other. There's a reason why we decide to break a what was once a perfect, loving partnership. There's a reason behind it. Sometimes it is just selfishness. Let's be honest. Sometimes the pornography comes in. Pornography is a big problem because it really encourages people to start thinking outside of their marital kind of relationship and looking out and look outside for better entertaining sexual entertainment. And so it's a really hard one to answer, my sister, because I think as a human being, you and I realize there are many things that can really turn us off people we once trusted and loved. And so maybe the husband was abusive. Maybe he cheated once upon a time and he doesn't want to admit to it. Maybe he did something that really upset her, and then she found that, well, since he's doing it, or since he's done it in the past and is getting away with it, well, all right, since he's so difficult to live with, and he's mean and he's horrible and he's aggressive, and I need to go and find that kind of happiness, that kind of thing that turns me on, that makes me happy elsewhere. None of these things are good, but there's definitely a trigger for all of these things, and we need to get to the bottom of it. We need to understand, where do things start going wrong, and even if they plan on divorcing, if this is it, they've drawn the line here and decided that there's no coming back, there's no reconciliation or restoration here, but we want to protect future relationships. We want to make sure these guys understand things about themselves. Why do I respond the way I do when he does this or when she says that? I think that we need to go and work out what triggered her to want to. And I guess that's the question you're asking, but what might have triggered her to want to do this in the first place? Let's go there. And some of those conversations, by the way, they're going to be really difficult ones. They're going to be hurtful ones. There might be even ones that you don't want to discuss and talk about or expose. Like, it's something that you don't want to bring out into the open. But unless we have these difficult conversations, it's really hard to really make progress and move forward.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, to find out her reason, according to the story, her reason is too flimsy of a reason to want a divorce. So like Pastor Nick is saying, let's have the hard conversations. Let's have the raw conversations, the ones that will bring out exactly what is going on. I want to read comments before we continue. This one is from Asari Enoch, who says, very interesting. The woman doesn't love you and will never love you. For peace of mind, please, and to live long, do as she wishes. Your mistake also was you saw something bad happening, but she insisted. Better still, life goes on. Be strong, bro. Nelson Nana Jan Ama says, let her go. She has never loved you. As such, you did no wrong in trying to protect your marriage. You will be fine one day. Ifya Nyako says, looking at the situation, the lady has been talking about her marriage with the friend about being unhappy. So the husband should sit down and think deeply. He should have thought of how to make her happy since she couldn't tell him. He made a mistake by texting the guy. He could even add more words to what you said. And remember that if a guy wants a lady, he'll do anything to get her. Okay. Josiah Asari says, my brother, give her the divorce she's asking for. Methodios Ashon says, in my opinion, I think after all the talk, if she's still saying she needs the divorce, just give it to her, because sometimes it is supposed to be that way. Okay. Amapokwa said, my brother, if she says she wants a divorce, please let her go. I see. Rich Monyako said, marriage is not meant for everyone. Don't worry, my guy. Allow her to follow rubbish if she wishes. But please inform her that if she moves from this marriage, she shouldn't think of heaven. Jamara says, short of words, my dear, if you have tried and she still wants to go, let her go. Because if you force her to stay, you will never enjoy this marriage. She did not finish with her exes. That's why she's behaving that way. I know she'll regret this later, and I'm afraid things might be too late for her. It's not easy for you to let go, but please let her go, and one day you'll smile because she left. Be strong. Okay, I can see a lot of comments. I'll try and read some. I want to go for a very quick break, like a 1 minute break. When we come back, we will discuss what he should do moving forward. You know, he says he's gone to the parents, he's gone to pastors, he's gone to counselors. Everybody has tried. They've had meetings upon meetings. And she even went to the extent to say, if my mother would disown me because of this, let her go ahead. That means she's so resolute in her decision, and she's sure of what she's doing, and she wants the divorce at all costs. We'll be back after this break. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
Nia onyankopon hwehwa ne se onipa bia bedi yie e wasase so eno ti adwuma bia wo ye no wo hia ho nimdie ene nkyerɛkyerɛ papa mpanifo se sanwa beba kontomre enkwan ani a na eginemu nam so eno nti na Hope Channel edi dwuma dia ye frɛ ne se Business Forum abrewo ya wada nwumre no nwotwe bia me kyerɛ 8 pm hia me na nakwa mesika me ne mpanifo a wa ben no wadosukɔ e wo sikasemu adwadie mu ene enwuma mu besi nkonya ne amaw nkyerɛkyerɛ papa a ɛbɛboaw na nso watimi atumpɔn piao.
We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie, and I have been having a great conversation with Shadrach, who is in the studio with me, Pastor Nick, all the way from the US of A, and Eunice also joining me from Techiman Valley View University Church. We have been talking about this story that we titled, I went through her phone, now she wants a divorce. So it's basically about this young man who says, just a few months after marriage, he started noticing something about his wife that he didn't like. That was she texting other men and entertaining them, men that were sending inappropriate messages, men that were asking her for her nudes. And she spoke to her about it the first time. She said she accepts it's wrong, she'll do something about it. A few months down the line, he said, oh, let me go and check if this lady has really stopped talking to these men. She goes to check, she hasn't, she's still talking to men. And this time around, one is saying, if your husband knew how we want to take you away, he wouldn't make you unhappy. And according to him, he had no idea his wife was unhappy. And so out of frustration, he took his phone and texted the young man, asking him to stay away from his wife. And now the young man went ahead and told, obviously, his wife, and she's upset, like she's crazy upset. And she's saying that she wants a divorce, and that he went through her phone. It was her phone, her privacy, and is it wrong for other men to tell her, I love you as friends, you know? And she wants a divorce. He says he's gone to their counselors, to their parents, to her parents, and they've spoken and tried their best. She still says no, she wants the divorce. And so he doesn't know what to do anymore. He's cried, he's apologized, he's begged. He's done everything he thinks he can do, but she's still saying no. And his last resort is to come here, and hopefully we can help him with some decision or some solution as to how to go about the situation. I will come to you quickly, Eunice. I would ask. This man says he's tried everything. What else can he do? Should he go ahead and grant her the divorce for peace sake, so that she can go and live her life? Because now she's just clearly unhappy and doesn't want to stay with him anymore.
Eerie.
Yeah.
You know, as Christians, we wouldn't support divorce.
Yeah.
But what I can say is, the man should give her some space. Yeah. He should give the lady some space, but in that process, he should keep praying for the lady. Who knows, eventually, the lady might change her mind, just like the prodigal son who wanted to leave the father's house. The father granted him that opportunity, but later, through the prayers of the father, the son came back and the father was happy to receive him. So I think personally, the man should give her some space. Or if the man can do what the other men are doing to attract the lady, with not neglecting his beliefs, if he can do that same thing they are doing to make the woman happy, considering his beliefs, if it is right, he should do it so that he can win the heart of the woman back.
So you are thinking that he should sit down with his wife and ask what he's probably not doing right, so that he can start doing them?
No, I'm saying he should give the lady a space. The woman.
Yes.
Since she's not ready to listen to any of the counselors, to the extent of even asking if the mother will disown her, she should go ahead. The man should give him a space, should give her a space, sorry. And whilst in that process, the man should keep praying for the lady. He should keep on praying for the wife. Who knows, maybe like the prodigal son, eventually she'll repent and come back.
I see.
Hey, I have a problem with what you're saying, my sister. I'm a little bit confused. If I can just be honest, yeah, this is not personal, but just think about what we're saying. This is not like a Hosea and Gomer situation. Like, we're not suggesting that people just stand back and watch and just watch the person you love just go and share yourself with somebody else. I mean, if this person is already sharing those kind of nude pictures with each other and they're having inappropriate conversations, it's like the prodigal son, the damage was on the son. The father was ready to receive the son because the son was hurting himself. Now, when the people we love want to leave us and share themselves in an intimate way with someone else, I mean, let's just be real for a second. It is pretty hard just to stand back and pray whilst you're picturing the love of your life with another person.
Absolutely.
That's not gonna work.
It's not easy, but in this situation, the lady has made up her mind that she wants to leave. There is nothing the guy can do now. So what he can do is to grant her that space.
So that begs me to ask. That begs me to ask the question of Pastor. Pastor, then moving forward, what should he do? Should he go ahead and grant the divorce? I mean, he says he's tried, he's cried, he's begged, he's asked parents, he's done everything. She's still saying no. So, in your opinion, and as a spiritual lead, if I should call it that, what would you say to him? How would you advise him to go about the situation? Should he keep trying? Should he let go? What would you suggest? I don't know if, Pastor, you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Oh, are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. So I think you're talking to. Okay, yeah. Listen, I mean, like I said to Eunice, this is not a Hosea and Gomer problem, right? So God is not asking us. God is not asking us.
Okay.
No, wait. And so my response would be, my response is going to be a biblical one. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, and verse 18. The Bible says, run, not walk, not patiently wait, not sit around and think. Run from sexual sin, right? From any sexual selfishness. That's what sin is. Sin is selfishness. Run away from sexual selfishness. No other sin is so clearly affects the body as this one does. The Bible tells us that there's nothing more damaging to the body, to the mind, and therefore to a relationship than from this sin. For sexual immorality is a sin against your own body. Like every other sin, by the way, is not good for you, but this one impacts the personal body. It destroys a person. It really does. And if the sister wants to leave to be able to be intimate, you know, with other people or with another person, I cannot. I cannot sit around waiting for the best. You're gonna have to choose, man. And it's not like a selfish thing. You're gonna have to make a decision. Like, we can definitely try and work through things that have happened in the past. If there is love, there's an opportunity to reconcile. But the fact is, there are some things that as a human being, I'm gonna struggle to get out of my mind. If I know that you have been with somebody else, it's gonna be really difficult. So my recommendation, to answer your question, my recommendation is, if there is an opportunity for the couple to come back together again, man, there's going to need some like professional, serious counseling, because the guy is going to have some real problems getting through that, and it might come back in life. It might come back and haunt him again and again, because you just don't know if you can trust again, and you need some professional help. And the girl, by the way, needs to work out what drives her, like what happens in her marriage that causes her to opt out and to want to be intimate with other people again. And so this is going to be very difficult. This is not a very easy thing for any human being to do. And so my recommendation is, if she's made up her mind, she wants to be intimate with somebody else, my dear brother, I feel sorry for you, but there's not much you can do. You cannot hold this person ransom. If she has decided to be with somebody else, there's not much you can do, my man. And so in your time of prayer, like Eunice was talking about, when it comes to your prayer time, the prayer is going to be, Lord, heal my heart. I gave my life to somebody else. I trusted my entire life with this person, and they have broken it and have ruined it. Heal my heart. And I'll just say this, God will. He's going to do it. And Jesus experienced every single situation, by the way, to what you and I are feeling. He has gone through it all, and so that he might be able to be the answer and the solution for us. And so therefore, if you're feeling broken, betrayed to the absolute worst scenario, know that you're in good company when it comes to Jesus. Know that you're in good company when it comes to Christians. This is the Christian walk, but I don't believe that you need to keep putting yourself through that experience over and over again. God is not calling everybody to be a Hosea and Gomer. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much for that, Pastor Rick. I completely agree when you say the man needs to go for counseling and therapy, because this can be damaging. I mean, being with someone and thinking that you love each other and finding out that they, first of all, are entertaining other men, and they ask you for a divorce, they ask you for a breakup. It is so damaging. It would affect your mental health. It would affect your spiritual life, physically, in all aspects of your life. So going for therapy is very, very important. And for the woman, you may think this is what you want, but I also think you should take even though you're asking for the divorce, you should take the steps to search within and find exactly what you want. Because you said yes to somebody some few months ago. And also the issue of red flags, I'll speak on that shortly. But Shadrach, in your opinion, what should this man do again? Should he go ahead and grant her the divorce? I mean,
the story is quite some way, but she can't just base on the husband going through her phone for that divorce. No, I think that she has maybe preconceived that it is something that she has already thought of to do. And for you to say you don't care if your mom disowns you,
that's serious.
That's serious. So as Pastor said, I think the husband should seek for counseling. Yes, and if it still persists, I think there should be some separation for some time. But for the divorce, they have to look at it again. After the counseling and it still persists, I think that is when he can go ahead and run, as Pastor said. He should run from it, yes.
She ran from it.
Yes.
I want to take some comments.
That's right. Brother, listen, Shadrach, she's not asking for permission. She's saying, I want a divorce. Like,
yes.
I'm done, and I don't even care what my mum thinks.
Right.
Like, I mean, how can you not give her the divorce?
Oh, no.
I mean, yeah. Do you guys like? Does the husband have the right, if she's made up her mind, to say no? I don't care. I mean, does that mean that she's not going to hang out with other men, or she's not going to want to be with somebody else in a relationship?
She will.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what can we really do? What can preventing the divorce from going through really do? Like, I'm just wondering, in your mind, what do you think? What do you think not going ahead with the divorce will actually achieve?
Probably giving her some time to realize that she's making the biggest mistake of her life. We don't know. I'll go ahead and read some comments from our live audience. This one is from Sabath Boachi, who says it was inappropriate of the gentleman to have gone through his wife's phone, though he is right. Prince says, I think the man should act like a man and stop being a boy. Why should you go through your wife's phone? Wow. And then you don't trust her.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Sabat continues to say there's always a cause of doing that. I think maybe she's seeking attention and all that from the new guy, and she feels better. They are of different views, even though they are married couples. Oh, okay. I'm thinking he's thinking she and this other man agree on a lot more things. Mamisa says, please stop going through your partner's phone without permission. It's not healthy. Sethina A. for Arthur says, give your wife all the attention she needs and never make her feel alone. She will look, or else she will look for someone who gives her the attention she needs. I see. You know, I want to pick some from our feed before we end today's discussion. I'll pick your final words shortly, my panelists. You can see that this woman has made up her mind. Some strange way she seems to have made up her mind, and the gentleman also is grieving and crying. Yeah. So a few words from, who is the name? Let me see. Fred said, this is what she really is made of. It is rather unfortunate and disheartening that you found this out after marriage. There are a lot of women with such strong, ungodly will. On the path you tread, there's absolute compromise and acceptance to keep silent forever, no matter the situation, and the pain ahead will be greater. Never beg someone to stay when you have not earned them. You are the likeness of God, and so know your worth. May the Lord guide and comfort you. Send him much love. Pray without ceasing. Okay. This one is from Yahoo, says, you did the right thing by texting the guy, senior. Perhaps you saw the red flag before marrying her. That was your mistake. But for now, she's not ready to denounce such friends. Then you should serve her the letter. That's all. And someone agrees with you, Pastor Nick. He says, run for your life. It's like she wants, she was forced to marry you. If she wants to leave, kindly allow her and stop begging her to stay. Run for your life. So we can see people agree. But, you know, one of the comments said, you knew this before you married her. The issue of red flags. We see the signs all the time. All the time. We ignore it. We go ahead and put ourselves in these strong contracts. A marriage is a contract. And now breaking it off becomes difficult. She was texting this guy before you guys got married. And after marriage, she's continuing to text the guy. And she even will ask you, what is wrong if someone says, I love you as a friend? There's something that is making her so strong in her decision. But I'll come for your final words. But before then, one thing I want to tell the lady is, do not make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. This is one of the things that a friend told me that has stuck with me throughout the years. Do not make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. Feelings are so fleeting. 1 minute you feel like this, the next minute you realize you've made the biggest mistake of your life. Please, please, please do not do that. Your final words, Shadrach, what would you tell this woman and even the man?
For the woman, I think she's made up her mind. Even to allow for her mom to disown her, she's already made up her mind.
Right.
And what I would like to tell the man is he should keep praying. Yes, even though the decision has been made for the divorce, he should keep praying. And if it persists, he should give the lady the chance. He should allow for the divorce.
Right,
yes.
you should allow. Okay, thank you, Shadrach. Eunice, your final words.
Well, what I have for the woman is a question. I want to ask if she's listening to us, whatever she is leaving the husband for, she should ask herself whether it's worth it. Whatever is causing her to leave the husband.
Oh my goodness. I am losing Eunice there. I think it's a problem with her connection. I'll come to you, Pastor Nick, and ask for your final words. Am I losing Pastor Nick as well? My Zoom guests are...
Recording in progress.
Oh, Eunice is back. Eunice, I didn't hear the last bit of what you said.
Recording
if you could quickly
stopped.
repeat.
Oh, are we back?
Eunice, yes. Can you hear me, Eunice?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was saying I didn't hear the last bit of what you said. If you could quickly repeat it for us, that would be great.
I was like, for the woman, you heard that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was asking whatever she is leaving the husband for, is it worth it? And for the man, he should keep on praying. But before, even if the man will grant the divorce, the woman owes the man a deep-seated conversation to make the man knows whatever was the cause that made her unhappy in the marriage.
Right.
I think the man should do that whilst he is praying. And I know the Lord will surely intervene.
Amen. Amen, Sister Eunice. Pastor Nick, I'm coming to you. Your final words quickly. Your final words for the couple.
All right, look out. Here's what I have to say. For my dear sister, Romans 13:14 comes to mind. Put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh to fulfill its lust thereof. So check this out. Look, listen, sometimes we do get tempted, right? I don't know where you're listening from this evening in Ghana, and if this is your situation, you need to understand, we all get tempted sometimes in life. No marriage is perfect. We need to work on our marriages. We need to work on our relationships. They're all being challenged every day. The entire world, if you like, is against it. I'm telling you now, everything you look, you read, you experience is against it. So we need to work at it. And so when you get the inclination that things are not working out, that your husband is not satisfying you, whether it be a intellectual satisfaction or a sexual satisfaction, you need to just pull him over. You need to stop in your tracks, the both of you, and say, hey, look, listen, something is up, something is not working. I just don't feel the connection with you. I don't feel like you find me attractive, right? I don't feel like you, whatever it might be, grab him, pull him, but don't give in to the flesh of the body, don't give in to lusts, and don't give in to that, but instead do something about it the very moment you feel a sense of separation or something is not right between the two of you. It's worth fighting for, because God planned that within a marriage you'll experience the best intimacy anyone can experience, because God planned it this way, and we can trust him with it. And now if you've already gone down this path and you realize there's no coming back, you've gone too far and you can't make it work, my prayer for you, my sister, or my brother, whichever situation you find yourself in, is that you rethink what God is calling us as Christians. Rethink your lifestyle. God says that this kind of lifestyle destroys you. It doesn't make him love you less, but it destroys you, destroys your mind, it destroys your body. You lose value in yourself. And so God says, rethink what you're doing. Now, to my dear brother who is experiencing this, look, let me tell you something, man. You've heard this before. You've heard the statement, happy wife, happy
life.
Now, you get it in some sort of inclination that wife is not happy. Brother, stop whatever you're doing. Drop it. Stop working so late hours. Stop watching pornography. Stop whatever it is that you're doing that's creating this separation between you and your wife, and love her all over again. Invest in that time. Look after yourself. Make yourself attractive if you need to. But you get an inclination that things are not too good, that you're not as connected, do something about it. Just let it go, because eventually, it won't work out in this scenario. Now, if it's too late, and she decided to leave you, and there's no turning back, and she wants a divorce, and there's nothing else you can do about it, my prayer is that you've learned something. And I know this is harsh, because I already told you before that you turn to Jesus, and he's going to heal you, get some counseling, it's needed. but I pray that you've learned something. You've learned something in life. Our marriages, our partnerships are valuable. And maybe you were innocent. Maybe you did everything right. Well, I pray that you understand that in this world, whilst there's selfishness, there is no guarantee. The only security and peace we can truly find is in Jesus. And so therefore, the next relationship or whatever happens to you next, allow Christ to truly be the center of everything. And then after Jesus comes not your work, not even your children, definitely not money, then let your wife be the most important thing that comes to your heart and to your time.
Absolutely.
Happy
Thank
wife,
you.
happy life. That's
Thank
all
you.
I've got.
Thank you so much, Pastor Nick. I'd like to say a big thank you to my panelists. Shadrach joined me in the studio. Thank you so much. Eunice, thank you so much for joining me all the way from Techiman. Pastor Nick, thank you so much. I don't have much to say. Basically, you know, the world is fighting marriage. And so we have to be very, very careful. And for those who are not married yet, I think your search should even be deeper. Because if you pick the wrong ingredients, your omelette is spoiled for life. So please make sure you're picking the right ingredients for your omelette so that you guys can enjoy your relationship. Marriage is not rosy all the time. You need to work at it. You see all the marriages that are beautiful that you want, they worked at it. You need to work at your marriage. Thank you so much for watching from home, my audience. Thank you so much. A big thank you to Sethina Ifwa Arthur for your amazing help and work. Another huge thank you to Mrs. Dinah Asante Mensah. She loves the show. We love her so much. Thank you so much for always watching and supporting us. And I know this is a surprise, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. We'll be back same time next week with yet another exciting topic. Please do stay tuned and watch the rest of the content on Hope TV Ghana. And I am sure that you will enjoy yourself. So please have a great night and enjoy the rest of your day. My name is still Evie, and we will be back same time next week.